Welcome. Today we are going to do geography lesson grade 12. So the topic of today is tropical cyclone. So first things first, we are going to introduce the topic. So the tropical cyclone is a destructive spinning storm. So it occurs late in summer when the conditions at the ocean in tropical part of the world are steamy, because in the southern hemisphere the oceans normally become warm by summer season. So they are being named according to which country they coming from. Names such as hurricanes and typhoons. So the purpose of this lesson is to teach learners about tropical cyclone, and at the end of the lesson they will know about characteristics of tropical cyclone. Sorry about that. Areas where it forms, factors necessary for formation, stages of development, associated weather patterns, impacts of tropical cyclone on human activities and environment, and strategies to prepare for and manage the effects of tropical cyclone. Now, as we proceed, we are going to talk about the general characteristics of tropical cyclone. So tropical cyclone is characterized to occur from late summer to early autumn. So they move from east to west as they form in a tropical easterly wind belt. So in such they affect the east coast of the continent. They move from east to west. So they are being pushed by easterly wind belt. So they affect east coast continent. They dissipate when they reach the cooler latitudes or as they reach land. So when they reach the cooler latitudes, they dissipate. So they are named alphabetically, meaning, for example, if the last year cyclone was named by the alphabet named A, like maybe Africa, the next cyclone, when it occurs, we are moving to another alphabet. It's going to be named with the alphabet starting with B. Maybe it could be Bafana or something. So that's why they say they are named alphabetically. So they are characterized. The center of tropical cyclone is called the eye. So when they spin at the center, there's an eye. So this eye has come central point, light or no winds. Is that it have light winds or no winds totally? There's no rain. It is very low pressure of approximately of 962 hectopascals. So at that eye, it has 30 to 50 kilometers of subsiding air. So the temperature is about 32 degrees Celsius. And there are towering cumulonimbus clouds surrounding it. That's the characteristics of tropical cyclone. Moving forward, we are going to talk about the areas where the tropical cyclone form. So the tropical cyclone occur between 5 degrees and 30 degrees north and south. They do not develop within 5 degrees of the equator because Coriolis force is not available to diverge the wind. So for a cyclone to occur, it is enhanced by Coriolis force because the Coriolis force diverge the winds. They develop over warm tropical oceans where temperature in the region of 27 degrees Celsius occur. As I said, they occur later in summer. So normally in summer season, the oceans, the sea levels are warm. So tropical cyclones are formed in the following areas. As I named or as I illustrated, they are being named according to which country they are coming from. So in Atlantic Ocean, in the West Indies, Gulf of Mexico, south and east coast of USA are known as hurricanes. Then in Indian Ocean, India, Madagascar, Mauritius, and South Africa, Mozambique are known as cyclones. But in Pacific Ocean, China Sea and Japan are known as typhoons. And Australia are also named cyclone. Right. Moreover, there are factors necessary for formation of tropical cyclone. So for a cyclone to be okay or to develop, there are necessary formation that push that cyclone to occur. Number one, the ocean must be warm. So when the ocean are warm, like I said, when like the sea level become warm by summer season, so the oceans are warm. So it occur in late summer and when sea temperature are warm. So a hot air temperature is going to rise. Then there will be a low pressure that is going to develop. Then the rising air is going to be cool. So when it's cool, then the condensation is going to take place. So the late in summer, in early autumn, tropical cyclone is going to occur. The water vapor, they are going to be released latent heat to provide energy so that tropical cyclone to occur. So there must be a steep pressure gradient. So the winds, they are going to converge at the low pressure. Sorry, it was supposed to be pressure. Typing error. So the winds are going to converge at the low pressure and begin to rotate because the Coriolis force is available to diverge the winds. So the pressure in the center of the low pressure must be below 1,000 hectopascals. Understood? Right. Those are the factors that are necessary for formation for tropical cyclone. Now, moreover, tropical cyclone to develop, it must be undergone stages of development. Number one, formative stage, where it forms. It is a low pressure cell. A low pressure cell is going to develop. The atmospheric pressure is still above 1,000 hectopascals. Number two, immature stage. So, when talking about immature stage, sorry, it was supposed to be pressure. So the pressure decrease to below 1,000 hectopascals. So the gale force winds. So when you talk about the gale force wind, you are talking about the strong winds. They are going to develop. So the circulation is going to take place in a clockwise direction in some southern hemisphere. The gale force wind, they're going to develop, and the air circulation is going to start and goes clockwise direction in southern hemisphere. Then the mature stage. So in mature stage, pressure is very low to about 960 hectopascals, and the pressure gradient is very strong. So when the pressure gradient is very strong, the hurricane force winds, meaning tropical cyclone, is going to develop. So when it develops, the heavy rain occur. So when it occurs, it goes along with changing weather condition. So the worst weather is in the forward left-hand quadrant. right? Then the last one is the dissipating stage. This is the later stage when the energy is being reducted. So the pressure starts to rise. So when the pressure starts to rise, the wind also increase the speed, but the heavy rains continues to fall. So it dissipates over land, or it moves into a higher pressure area. So the tropical cyclone starts at the ocean. So it starts to circulate at the ocean, then move to the land. So when it moves to the land, that's where it reaches the dissipating stage, whereby the pressure is going to start to rise, the wind increase the speed, then the heavy rains, it continues to fall. So the overland, or it moves into a higher pressure area. So when they move to the land, so the pressure at the land is very high. Right, moving forward. Now, the associated weather pattern. The weather conditions that are associated with tropical cyclone, there must be a very strong pressure gradient that causes hurricane force wind, meaning that tropical cyclone. There must be a torrential rain that is going to cause intense flooding. There will be so much rain that is going to cause the floods. So the hot, humid, and calm weather in the eye is caused by descending warm air. A storm surge they are talking about when the sea level is being raised up than the ordinary one. So the storm surge is going to lead to flooding of the coastal areas. So when the flood occurs, it's going to be caused by the high winds pushing on the ocean surface. So that wind that pushing that hurricane on the ocean surface, the wind is going to cause the water to pile up higher than the ordinary level. So when they pile up, it is going to land at the land. Right. Then we are going to talk about the impact of tropical cyclones on human activities and environment. It goes without saying that it is indeed tropical cyclone affects our social life. It affects the environment and so forth. So tropical cyclone can cause substantial loss of life and damage to property as a result of what? Number one, the higher sea level and high waves flooding into a low lying of densely populated coastal areas. So the settlement that are on the coastal line is going to be affected more by floods because there will be a lot of rainfall. There will be a strong wind along the coastal area, meaning the settlement that at the coastal area is going to be affected because there will be a strong winds along coastal area. There will be excessive flooding caused by torrential rain. And again, the coastal settlement is going to be affected by flooding because there will be a heavy rainfall. Landslides destroying crops, livestock, settlement, and infrastructure. All those at the coastal area is going to be destroyed, and there will be the lack of clean water and food shortage of the coastal areas, the settlement that are the coastal areas. So that's how it impacts human activities and environment. So as it impacts human activities and environment, something has to be done. So these are the strategies to prepare for and manage the effect of tropical cyclone. Number one, Weather stations can identify and predict the path of tropical cyclone and should issue warnings. Right. The weather stations, they must identify in which way the tropical cyclone is going to go, then warn people about that. Right. List of management centers have been established to manage crisis situations such as food, water, medical supplies, and support temporary housing and rescue operation. So these are the management crises. So in case there will be a shortage of food, water, medical supplies whereby people have been injured, supporting temporary housing, support them, because indeed the coastal settlements, people there, they're going to lose their houses, and rescue operations, indeed for people that maybe they could be drowned in the water. And prepare the community so that people know evacuation procedures and how to prepare themselves and their property. Right. They must prepare the community so that they can know about the procedure and how they are going to prepare themselves and their property. Land use planning. There must be encouragement to plan before they could build their house or settlement in coastal areas. They must limit the development in coastal areas. They mustn't build settlement near to the coastal areas, because that's where the necessity of tropical cyclone nearly occur. So these are the strategies to prepare and manage the effect of tropical cyclone. Right, moving forward, here is the summary of tropical cyclone. So it goes by. Tropical cyclone is a destructive spinning storm. So it has the full strength to turn the world upside down. So it goes along with the characteristics whereby it could move from east to west because they are driven by an easterly winds belt. So this cyclone, it has the areas where it forms and also named according to which country they are coming from. So those names, typhoons, hurricanes, and cyclone and blah. Right. There must be a change in the weather conditions whereby the ocean must be warm. There must be hot air temperature, water vapor. Then there must be steep pressure gradient, and pressure in the center of the low pressure must be below 1,000 hectopascals so that the hurricane, it can be developed. So the cyclone must be undergone stages so it can be developed. So it impacts human activities and environment, but there are the strategies to prepare and manage the effect of tropical cyclone. So these are the summary of tropical cyclone. Right, moving forward. So here, this is the homework. The homework, it is based on something that have been occurred. So it's focusing on real world issues. Right. Approximately of 5 sentences discuss the impact of tropical cyclone Freddy on human activities and the environment at the southern hemisphere of Mozambique. Sorry about that. Number 2. Okay, number 1 is 5 marks. Alright. Discuss the strategy that were prepared for and manage the effect of tropical cyclone that were occurring at the southern hemisphere of Mozambique. So also it's 5 marks. Total marks is 10 marks. Thank you and good luck.